Hey everybody, and welcome back to Blacklist Universe, or as I call it, Mike Fix Concord, or Mike Fixes Concord, at least for this series of videos. Today we're doing De Vere's, and this is an interesting one because I'm having a hard time keeping track of, or not keeping track, but keeping the motif of the original character because I just don't understand why they put a bucket on her head. I don't understand what these little ball things on her side are either. We're checking out what she has on her beekeeper hat, Judge Dredd shoulder pads. I don't know what that is. She's got little pull to inflate tabs on her knees, and she's wearing Crocs. And what the heck is that plunger on her back? I have no idea, but we're going to try to maintain as much of it as possible to keep her recognizable, and then hopefully create a playable character. Before we jump into that, allow me 30 seconds to introduce myself. My name is Mike S. Miller, 32-year professional comic book creator, video game concept artist, writer, blah, blah, blah. I'm the creator of multiple intellectual properties including Imaginaries, Deal with the Devil, Six Gun Samurai, and Lone Star. Available to pre-order at lonestarcomic.com, link in the description below. Our vision here at Blacklist Universe is ultimately to create a multimedia venture to bring quality and ethics back to storytelling. We're tired of the DEI woke agenda ruining every book, comic, game, movie, and TV show, and we're bound and determined to do something about it. If that sounds good to you, then join us by subscribing and maybe even supporting us as a channel member. No one can fight the culture war alone. We're here to fight and to make a difference, and we hope you are too. And one more thing, I do a weekly live stream at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time called Drawn and Quartered, where me and a group of my other professional artist friends get together and draw and chat and have a good time, and we would love for you to join us. Now back to the video. So kind of the first thing I did was try to keep some semblance of a helmet on there. You'll notice later I delete this because I can't get it to work, and the helmet... So I had to make a decision between the shoulder pads and some sort of a helmet, and I stuck with the shoulder pads. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do the Judge Dredd shoulder pads and give her like a high big collar. Kind of reminds me of, she's a bombardier character, so I was like, you know what? She's a grenadier character, anyways. What I'm gonna do with that is I'm gonna give her, like, you know, the bomb squad. They always have that big bulky collar around their neck to protect themselves, part of their protection from explosions and whatnot, and I just thought it was a good look. It was a little hard to fit on with the shoulder pads, but I figured that out anyways. So I went ahead and I thought I would give her some facial protection other than just you know, a big fishbowl helmet head. I don't even know what that thing was. It was like a little translucent trash can that somebody put on top of her head, and so I went ahead and give her like real kind of spiky new wave hair, just to sort of impact her silhouette a little bit. The eye protection, obvious reasons. The reason she has the earphones in is to protect her hearing from explosions, and this is the future, so I didn't want to give her big old ear mufflers. I figured by that time they would be able to create some sort of, you know, ear pod level things that actually protect your ears from damage, and you know, trying to think futuristic and stylistic. What's going to protect her face from shrapnel? I have no idea. Maybe maybe she just needs to protect her eyes at this point, but you know, at this point I'm worried about form over function a little bit, because you want your characters to be playable. And yeah, maybe she does need a full face mask, but then it kind of... I think they wanted to show her face because they completely covered up her figure, so you wouldn't know. If they did cover her face with some sort of a blast shield, you would have no idea this was a female character. And you know, you have to have female characters because you have to diversify your equity and your inclusion. So the rest of her body, I did try to keep sort of armored, protected, shielded. She's got nice, tough gloves and little scalloped, well, it's not scalloped, just little padding or shielding here and there. Obviously I gave her the great big elbow pads and the great big knee pads because I just thought those would help with the silhouette and just kind of look, you know, I hate to use cute, but look kind of cute with the big. It's something. Who did that? It was I think Shiro. Was it in Appleseed or? Anyways, I don't need to worry about that. But I worked on her bodysuit first. I gave her the indication of metallic on the side because, again, I want it to feel like it is padding. Even if I'm not putting literal plates everywhere for protection, I do want you to have the indication that, yeah, even her bodysuit is armored in some sense. So that's why I gave it that sort of metallic ribbing. Don't make the ribbing jokes, please. I don't know how else to describe it. And I armored up her legs. She just had like pegged pants with high top shoes before, and I was like, what? I mean, it didn't make any sense to me. It didn't look good at all. This weird jumpsuit they gave her. They did everything they could to on the body to hide the fact that this is a female character. And again, I think that's why they gave her a translucent blast bucket for a helmet, which is just ridiculous and stupid and ugly. So as a grenadier, I gave her weapon, which takes extra time to draw, but it's the character, and I didn't want. See, in the initial pose, she's holding it, and it's covering up her whole body, just like all the garbage they put on her covered up her whole body. They put her in a baggy suit. They covered her up with like some weird, just nonsensical tech thing on her chest, which covers up any. You couldn't. I don't know. Why create female characters? Why go out of your way to specifically create female characters and then cover up the fact that they're female completely? It doesn't. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing. And as a grenadier, I had no indication that she was a grenadier other than the fact that she was carrying a grenade shooter. It's like, where's she getting her grenades? Like every other grenadier character in every other game, they have ammo on them. And so I just went overboard and I slapped grenades everywhere I could find. I should have put some on her calves, but everywhere within reach that she could grab a grenade so she could just keep popping, because she doesn't have a secondary weapon. The only weapon she has is a grenade launcher. So she's going to need lots and lots of ammo. So I did what I needed to do, and there you go. I grenaded her up. She's got to be wearing a good 20-30 pounds worth of grenades now. So, and they're easily accessible, so she can keep jumping around, keep fighting the good fight in her cute new, well-armored, yet still showing her feminine form. And no, it's not sexualized at all. I didn't throw her in a bikini. She's a grenadier, so she's got to be fairly well armored up to protect from the blasts. You don't want to launch one of them grenades too close, right? Sorry, I know it took a long time to just do all the grenades, and I was trying to model them one after the other so that they maintain size and consistency. So, gosh, I should have just skipped past this part, pop, 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 and just dropped all those grenades all on you at once. Oh, you know what? While I have a moment here, I was looking through my statistics. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers, which is freaking awesome. But I was noticing the statistics that only 15% of you who are watching these videos are subscribed. So if you would take a few seconds out of your day, I would very much appreciate if just like 5% of you would go and hit that subscribe button. I'd probably get over 10,000 subs today. So if you would, I would appreciate it. And like I said, I do try to read all the comments. I'd love for you to be a part of the Blacklist Universe community. You know what? I should drop the Discord link in there too. I think I'll start dropping the Discord link in the description so people can jump on over and actually become part of the Blacklist Universe community. This was a mistake. I flattened a file, and one of the files was one of the old blurred out things, so I had to go in and waste some time cleaning that up. All right, here we go with the silhouette. How does it look in silhouette? That's not too shabby. That you would recognize the character for certain in the field. So let's go now to the good old coloring stage. I know a lot of you people just skip through this for some reason. I'm paying attention to my analytics, guys. It's funny, like when you start getting lots of views for stuff, you really it gets addictive, like paying attention to all your analytics. But once again, tint, tone, hue. We got the tri-tone animated coloring style. Yeah, you've got all these little noodle bits and stuff. It does take a little bit of extra time to deal with all of this stuff. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this Concord series. This is the 10th Concord video that I've done. There's 16 total characters, so I've got a little over a week's worth left of Concord characters to do. If you've got ideas for other things for me to work on after this, please do let me know in the comments section, right after you subscribe, like and share, all that fun stuff. All right, the form is really starting to come together with the shading and the tinting, and I don't know, I enjoy watching the process back. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. It's really kind of cool when you're doing it. When you're doing all this stuff, it's like you're just trying to get through it because you want to get to the colors. But like watching the form, watching it all sort of take shape, I don't know. It's a really interesting thing for me to watch as the creator. I hope it's interesting for you as the viewer as well. Obviously, if I was going through and doing this full rendering color, it would be a little more highly rendered and highly detailed, and I'd add textures and whatnot. So here I am trying to maintain the original color design, at least from the skin that I was using. Okay, I didn't use quite as bright a yellow. I used more of a goldenrod because, man, that yellow is just obnoxious that they used on the original character. So I went with a goldenrod and a more desaturated blue, and I think the two colors work together pretty well. And per usual, I'm trying to balance out the colors top to bottom, so it's like you don't have any like unbalanced color, which they did fine here. They had shoulder pads all the way down to the feet, and that works. And then I knocked out some of the areas for grays so that even though it's not another color, you can have another, what do you call it, a tone, a desaturated tone there. And obviously it gives a little bit more indication that it's not just material, it is armor, it is functional. I used brown on the bandolier, what do you call it, webbing? I think it's called webbing. The bandolier webbing is all brown, so that again, it's sort of more or less a neutral tone because it does work with the goldenrod, because the goldenrod is a little bit orange and brown is basically just dark orange, so it is maintaining that duotone, the complementary color scheme. Although the yellow, and that's another thing. The yellow has to be more orange to be complementary to the blue. So that's why the goldenrod. That's why the yellow bothered me on the original, is because it's such a bright yellow. But that's not a complementary to blue. That's another primary color. So you basically just working with two primary colors rather than complementary colors. I lightened up the collar. I don't know. I had it gray at first, but then I'm like, you know what? The collar should be white just to make it sort of look like a turtleneck, I guess. And then I went in. I gave her sort of a bubblegum colored visor or eye protectors. I don't know. They're not glasses. I went in with the whites, and I knocked up, and then I gave all the hard metallics, sort of that sheen that you want to do with the whites. And then I went in and I gave a little bit of highlights, accents, as you were, with the red and then the brown. Just kind of break up the colors here and there, and give it a nice little something for you to look at that's not just the primary colors. And there it basically is, the final side by side. Here you go. Tell me which one you like better in the chat or in the comment section below. Let me know if you like this initial color choice. Here are a few variations of different skins or color selections you could go with in this final version of De Vere's by me, Mike Miller, Blacklist Universe. Let me know which one of those you like best, and tell me how you've been enjoying this series. Again, this is the 10th. If you haven't watched all 10, please, by all means, do. And I guess that's about it for this video. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys on the next video.